Welcome everybody to Nexus Youth and Family Services, one of our wellness workshops. This is the third part in a three-part series. The first part was exploring the gaps and barriers for our mental health for our socioeconomically disadvantaged Latin American and African American ethnicities in our community. And what we found is that there are a lot of barriers for families to actually get mental health services. We also talked about the stigma of mental health services. And the stigma is, what is mental health? How do people think about mental health? Mental health can be a mental disorder, but it can also be on the other side of the spectrum. It can just be people dealing with stressors in their life. It can deal with relationship breakups, monetary problems at home, grief and loss. Those are also parts of mental health. And we really want to bring a series to allow people to see where the struggles come in our whole system, and then how to get more services when you actually need it. Our second part, we focused on our Native American population, and we talked about their cultural diversity, mental health things that they're able to do with in their own families and in their own communities. And with both of those parts, we get to kind of see where the barriers are, where the strengths of our families are, where the strengths within those cultures, and how they deal with mental health in their family. And what we want to focus on today is what happens when you recognize that you need more help. Most families want to take care of their children's mental health, their mental health. They want to keep it in the family. They want to talk with maybe close friends. Maybe they'll talk to a doctor. Maybe they'll talk with a pastor or a minister. Maybe they'll talk with elders. Maybe they'll talk with trusted individuals. Talking to other parents like, hey, I'm having a problem with my child, what do you think? And then at a certain point, parents typically recognize they get to a crisis point where they need more help. What do you do when you need more help? Because we have so many barriers for our Latin American, socioeconomically disadvantaged African American and Native American families. How do you get help? So Nexus provides a lot of services in our local community. We also provide referrals to help you get services in other areas. So I wanted to bring some of our services to the wellness workshop so that you can see, so that you know how to access services within the community. The first thing I wanted to talk about is our therapeutic services. We have many different programs. Our first one is called PC Care. And the PC Care program works with toddlers up to about 7 years of age. And it's a parenting class. It's a co-parenting group where you have a one-on-one with a parent and a child working with a therapist to work on parenting needs. A lot of times our younger children have really big behaviors. They might be acting out, they might be hitting, they might be spitting, they might be hitting you, completely running away from you. So those types of behaviors that make it really challenging to enjoy your child and feel like you're being a good parent. So PC Care is a program to really help create a bond with your child, address some of those behaviors, and we get to do it actually in the moment with you. Another thing that I want to bring to the table is how to recognize when maybe your child, your adolescent, or you are suffering from strong symptoms where you need extra help. The first one is when our children or ourselves, adults, we face some type of trauma. It could be a complex trauma, so maybe trauma over multiple years. So a lot of times, we'll see this in child abuse. We'll see this maybe in sexual abuse, but also car accidents, the death of people within the family, homelessness. So there can be a lot of traumatic events, a fire in the house, deaths in the community, whatever that looks like. What we start to see is that if our kids or us were starting to suffer from those symptoms, we need to get extra help. And here's some symptoms to look for. So avoidance of trauma reminders. So if something happened, maybe we're completely avoiding that. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to go near it. Certain people really trigger us. If you notice those type of symptoms, certain places, situations, people might have exaggerated startle responses, constantly being irritable, out of character irritability, or anger, easily angered, and just explode for no reason. Negative emotions, constantly having negative emotions, feeling like they were to blame, they were the fault for what happened. And it's not, when you talk with them, there's not a rational discussion about, it wasn't your fault, they keep coming back to, this was my fault, I caused this problem. Flashbacks of the incidents, distressing dreams and nightmares, sleep problems. That's a big indicator for almost all mental health concerns, is noticing that your child or yourself are having sleep difficulties. That's either hard to fall asleep, hard to stay asleep and then wake up continually throughout the night, or waking up really early and not being able to get back to sleep. One of the other areas that we really want to look at is with anxiety. So we have our kids and our families with uncontrolled worry. They're just constantly worrying. They're avoiding situations. They avoid going out. They're avoiding being with other people, going to the store. They're worrying that something bad's going to happen. They're constantly clinging to you because they're, Mom, Dad, I don't want you to go. Something bad's going to happen. Those types of things. Muscle tension, constantly tight, all through the neck, back, legs, headaches, somatic problems, which is when you've got so much anxiety that we maybe have stomach aches or migraines constantly. That could be something. Poor concentration in school or at work, not being able to focus because you've got so much anxiety happening, and avoiding problems completely to avoid dealing with the stress of that situation. The third one is depression. Depression is an overwhelming sense of sadness, uncontrolled sadness, kind of like a hopeless feeling lonely. Even when you're around, they feel like they're isolating. They might even isolate themselves, where kids will sometimes isolate to their bedroom and they don't want to interact with the family. Also sleep problems, like I mentioned earlier. Unable to function at school or work, where they completely shut down, stop doing homework altogether. Unable to be productive at work and you feel like you're falling behind. Getting out of bed sometimes can be difficult, or kind of enjoying the day or going out into the day to really get started, where they just want to stay home and isolate themselves. So that also comes with a loss of motivation. Social isolation, where and not enjoying the things that they used to enjoy. So if they love to play sports, I don't want to play sports anymore. If they enjoy going out with their friends, no, I don't want to call them. If you enjoy going out with your friends and you realize that you're not calling your friends anymore. And sometimes depression and anxiety and trauma, they can also lead to abusing drugs to help medicate, to calm themselves down. So you'll see people drinking more, you'll see maybe more marijuana use or recreational drugs to kind of cope with these issues. If you're seeing any of those symptoms, that tells you that you probably need some extra help. And this is where Nexus can come in and help. The other thing that we provide is aggression replacement training. And that's for our kids that have had, they're having a lot of aggression, they're fighting a lot, they're maybe arguing with you, there's maybe constant blow-ups at home, at school, or maybe in the workplace. And it's a skill streaming, and it teaches pro-social behaviors. It teaches anger control and how to recognize their whole anger cycle so that they can stop that cycle and be able to pause so that they're able to not react with explosive anger. And this is for the ages of 12 to 18. We also have a parenting class in the therapy department called Common Ground, which is where we have parents and teens come together so we can work on communication skills. Parents and teens often struggle with communication. Teens continually want, they want to be, their own person. They want to expand on their ability to make decisions. And parents, we tend to fight with that, and a lot of times we create a stressful environment at the house. Common Ground is a great place to come together to work on communication skills so that we can build a respectful bond between the parent and the teenager. I wanted to talk to you about some more of our community-based services, specifically in the therapy department. We have what's called interactive journaling and our healing arts, which is through a window between worlds. And it's where we go out into our community, into our 3 different centers, and also here at Nexus, and we provide art therapy in a way to deal with problems that kids are having at home, but it's also a way to expand, to help regulate emotion, to really dive deep so kids can process through issues that they have, maybe just at school. Remember, we're not talking about the entire, we are talking about the entire range of mental health, so not just disorders, but also kids, school is tough for kids. Family life can be tough as well. So interactive journaling, creating art in a group environment is a great way for them to process through and enjoy working on their mental health. Another program that we offer into the community is called our FERS program. And it's coordinated statewide, and it's regional, and in Amador County, Nexus runs the FERS program. And these are for families within the foster youth. So caregivers, parents, grandparents, foster parents, and the foster children. If they are struggling with communication at home, anger blowouts, problems, you can call the FERS hotline and get services. You can get a therapist on the phone and a family and child advocate to come out and actually help you mediate through problems that you might be having within your foster home, or problems when you're reunified with your original caregivers. And next I'm going to bring up Spencer, who's going to talk about some of our family programs.
Hi guys, I'm Spencer Dutschke. I'm also with Nexus. Thank you, Dalen, for the introduction there. I'm going to go through some of our programs that we have through our Family Services Department. So first thing we have is our home visiting. So through our home visiting, our services include individualized parenting classes or support for families with children that we can help with case management, referrals to different resources around the county, and just overall access to different resources around the county as well. And through that, we can help with many different things. We can help kind of set budgets. We could help with, teaching about healthy meals. We could help with all kinds of things, anger management within the home, those type of things, communication problems. So we can help with all kinds of stuff through our home visiting program. Our next thing is our parenting classes. It's called Parenting with a Purpose. And those classes are interactive and supportive group classes. So, and they're open to anybody. We do have a lot of people who are court ordered to do it, but we have a lot of people who just come in voluntarily as well, who want to come in and just kind of learn more about how they can be a better overall parent, how they can communicate better with their children, and just overall take better care of their children and just be more present with their children. We also have our family resource centers. We have 3 of those located around the county. One of them is in Ione. It's on Main Street, right next to Don Luis. The other one is in Pine Grove, right off Highway 88, 19558, Highway 88, and it's right next to the Remax Insurance Building right there. And then the third one is in Comanche. It's located right next to the Comanche Blues gas station. And in those 3 different community centers, we offer access to all of our programs. We have our student assistance labs there, so that we have computers set up with internet access. Headphones if somebody needs to do a meeting. People can come in, use our computers to print up anything they need, fill out applications. I have people come in and fill out applications all the time. Whatever you may need on the computer or internet, you can come in and use our student assistance lab for that as well. And also, like I said, we just have all of our access to all of our programs there, and a lot of different community resources at our community centers. I mean, each community center has a big, thick binder full of resources that that varies from everything from mental health services to food services to helping people get help with housing. So that's our family resource centers. Then we have our Promotores de Salud program that's run by Denise. And through that, it's a peer-to-peer program that utilizes Spanish-speaking peer educators to kind of present and do all of our different things with a Spanish-speaking person. And then we have our asthma mitigation program, which is an educational resource connection referral program. It also offers home visiting as well to get a feel of how the house looks and the different things that can be helped out with there to kind of help mitigate people's asthma symptoms. And that's for for children, adults, and seniors who are diagnosed with uncontrolled asthma. And then we have our Aspire Student Assistance Program. I spoke on this a little bit earlier about our computer labs we have at each Family Resource Center. So the Student Assistance Program offers support for school staff and child care providers to help students access mental health and wellness services, as well as direct assistance for students and families to obtain needed resources and also any therapeutic needs they may have as well. So we have that program as well, and then through that, like I said, at each resource center we have our Student Assistance Program to help students in any way they may need. And now I'm going to kick it over to Stephen, who's going to speak a little bit about our youth services and the different programs they offer in that department.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen, and so I want to share with you about some of the youth programs that we have here at Nexus. And some of you may be familiar with Friday Night Live. We offer this on a multitude of campuses, and what this is an opportunity for youth to really build on their leadership with the active chapters in the community and within the school district. And so FNL is basically designed to partner with each school and having an advisor there where the students can come together and work on some projects and build a lot of the youth developmental skills, leadership skills, communication, all that sort of stuff that's super important. We have chapters all across the school district. Pioneer Elementary. We have Jackson Elementary, Sutter Creek, Plymouth, Jackson Junior High, Ione Junior High, Amador High School, and Oregon High School. So we are on all of those campuses currently, and we could be expanding in the upcoming school year. So this is just one way that your student, if they attend any of those campuses, can participate in some youth leadership developmental skills as well. One of the other things that we do as well is our YEP, our Youth Empowerment Project, and that's an opportunity for us to go into the schools and teach kids all sorts of life skills, whether it's communication, it's alcohol, substance abuse, or marijuana, or vaping. We do a ton of classes, and we try to make it as super youth-friendly and interactive as possible, especially with like our communication class. We love having that class where we get to do peanut butter and jelly, teach us how to build a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's tons of laughter and all sorts of things. But we also build on that every single lesson that we go through. It goes from something as simple as that and setting goals to alcohol, marijuana, substance abuse, and even mental health things that are going on. So the students in some of the elementary schools as well as the junior highs and Amador High School are able to participate in that. And so that's a really awesome project for us to participate in, to be able to see a lot of those students and see some of the growth that happens through those classes as well. And then the other thing I want to talk about is our 180 U-Turn. 180 U-Turn is a youth program that is it's pretty comprehensive when it comes to the services that we offer. It's for a lot of students that might be maybe a little at risk of getting in trouble, or they're not doing really well in school and they're not sure what's going on. But this is an opportunity for them to come together with other kids and build on their leadership skills, to meet weekly, to go on field trips and experience some things they may not normally get to experience. And so it's really awesome because we have a couple mentors that work with these kids individually as well as within this group. And so realistically, the eligibility are those youth that are potentially at risk. It could be for law enforcement involvement, past or current law enforcement involvement, maybe in the family that's really kind of caused some struggles there. Whatever it may be, if you have questions, please just reach out to us. We'd love to help you guys figure out what programs would really be good for you. The last one I want to talk about is the Independent Living Program, ILP. This is for current or former foster youth over the age of 15 and a half. And so what happens is this child has a mentor as well, and you're able to participate in a lot of similar things like the 180 program. It gives you an opportunity to work with somebody, teaching you these different skills on how to cook, how to bake, how to balance your checkbook, how to go to the bank and cash a check, all sorts of different things that we do on a regular basis. This class offers those opportunities to teach these students how to do these certain things. And so our IOP people that are running our IOP program love what they do. They've had great success with it. And so that's just one of the other programs that we have here at Nexus for the foster youth as well.
Everybody, to wrap up our third part in this series, I wanted to show you our website, which is www.nexusyfs.org. And this is the website, and you can see that we've got therapy services, we've got family services, and we've got youth services. If you select any one of these buttons on the bottom, these squares at the bottom, it'll come to a referral page. And the referral page will show a referral form, and it'll give you a little brief overview of what our services are. And if you click that form, you can then type in a referral, and you can email that to us. You can print it, and you can send it to referral@nexusyfs.org, or you can also call in a referral if you have questions and concerns. Wanted to make sure that you were aware of the web page and how to get a hold of us. Again, our number is 209-257-1980, and there are extensions that you can get to any department. Thank you very much for following us along with this three-part series, and hopefully we've brought awareness to the struggles that our families have, the supports within the community that they do have, and then in our third part, when you need extra help or there's a crisis, there's a place that you can go to seek answers, and that's Nexus Youth and Family Services. Thank you.